Hi everyone, and welcome to another Workshop Wednesday. My name is Emma. I'm a wellness coach here at Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. And for our Workshop Wednesdays, what we do is we dive into an interactive lab that coincides with what our licensed mental health counselor, Jen Evans, talked about earlier in the week. And those videos are posted on Mondays. For this month of April, we are in week 2 and we're building our inner CEO. And what that means is it connects to our mastering the inner game, which when we've mastered the inner game, we're responding instead of reacting, we regulate our own emotions, and we interact with people in a way that is a win-win for all of us. So with this inner CEO, we aren't suppressing our emotions, we are feeling them, allowing them to be in our bodies, in our minds, and we can observe them from a mindful state and take that pause before reacting. And so we're building that space in between a reactive response and a response that comes from mindfulness and intention. And this is so much easier said than done because our brains are built for survival. They are meant to react and survive. So when we bring in that extra pause, it takes more time and it takes intention. And of course, it takes practice. And we're here to practice that today and to become more aware this month. So let's dive right into our activity, which is on being above or beneath the soil. When we are above or beneath the soil, what we're really looking at is what is happening to our growth internally. And when we talk about growth, we mean with our goals, aspirations, and aligning this with our values and morals so that we live a purpose-driven life. And being above the soil is being in this regulated state, a state where we can pause and respond. And when we're below the soil, we're kind of getting in the quicksand of our mind or the tar pit of our mind. And if we do all of this with intention, the bottom of the soil is really where we plant the seeds. So we want to do this in an intentional way and in a way that we know where we're growing from. It's okay, sometimes in life we have those seasons where we need to burrow, we need to be underground, and there are also seasons where we are ready to blossom and bloom. So recognizing wherever you are in this journey and knowing that we are there for you every step of the way. So in today's activity, let's dive first into the soil. And underneath the soil, we're going to look at some of our patterns and behaviors that might not be serving us anymore. So think of any instances recently where you've reacted, where maybe you were feeling overwhelmed and so you said something that you didn't really mean, or you reacted from a space of, I need to figure this out now, and in a rush space instead of taking that intentional pause. Take time to get out your journal, write these things down, and you can look at the screen for some more examples of what might be underneath the soil. And at any point in time, we can be both above and beneath the soil. So some of our life might feel like we're in this burrowing mode, and other parts of our life might feel like we're already blossoming and blooming. So what it takes is looking at what seeds am I planting along the way, what seeds are happening in my daily routine, which we've done a video on, I'll link that in the description, and then also seeing what are some of the fruits that I'm picking in my life that are already regulated, that I want to keep cultivating, and also what are some of the weeds that are unintentionally growing in our garden, and how can we prune those away and replace them with something that is purpose-driven and aligned with our values. So take this time now, write down that bottom part, what is underneath the soil, and then we'll also reflect on what is above the soil right now. And these tie into our strengths. And as you write these down, maybe be inspired by something that went well recently, or maybe there was a meeting where you said what you wanted to say, or there was a time that felt like you negotiated your value, you were able to get a win-win situation, and noticing where in your life you are making this sustainable, lasting change already. And what a lot of these things that are living above the soil are going to tell us are some of the strengths, which you can compare this to the list on the screen, or if any of your other character strengths come up as you're doing this exercise, latch onto these because these are things that will help you as you try to get above the soil in other places in your life. Bridging the gap between being underneath the soil, burrowing, and being above the soil is really all about this mindfulness and about regulation, which we practice in Workshop Wednesday all the time. So if you're new here, I can't wait to see you soon. And of course, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Take time to reflect above and below the soil. So thank you so much for joining me on today's Workshop Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you next week.